weird sometimes being on the autism spectrum and not really understanding everything that goes on in society. Like, I mean, I understand it. I live in the world. I'm 54 years old. I've learned how to function among humans. But there are things that I don't quite pick up on. I always feel like I was dropped in the middle of another planet and I was given the guidebook, but it was translated through one of those really bad translation programs. And if you've ever put anything together from IKEA, you know what I'm talking about. So, like, there are things that, like, people will come up with expressions. And if I don't understand them, and for a long time I didn't want to feel stupid and say, I don't know what that means, which I say a lot now, but I didn't. So for a long time, I would just figure things out in my head. And these were the things that, like, an O face. People would say, you know, something about someone's O face. I thought it meant their surprised face. So I thought I was being really funny when somebody would say something and I would say, oh, face, not knowing. So, like, you know, I've said it to, I don't know, babies' moms. I'd be, oh, your baby just made the cutest little O face. And I said it on a first date one time. Guy said something. I thought I'd try to be flirty, which I am not good at. And he said something, and I thought I'd be funny and act surprised. And I said, this is my O face. And he said, well, that's good to know. I hope to see it again later. I said, well, surprise me again, and you will. I've gotten myself into a lot of situations and had a lot of sex I didn't really intend to have, but just kind of found myself having sex because of this. I work at a church, and I said it to my pastor one time. My whole face. And he just kind of did a double take and looked at me. But now I just figure, well, he knew what it meant. So I'm single now. I mean, it's by choice. Not my choice, but it's by choice. But because I'm difficult. I mean, I am very difficult to date. I'm on the autism spectrum and I have ADHD, and they collide with each other often. And I always have this need, this autistic need to do things perfectly. But my ADHD brain, I do things perfectly halfway through, and then I abandon them. So I'm a perfect half-ass. But like I was having sex one night with my now ex-boyfriend, and I thought I was doing a great job, but then I got distracted and I forgot, and I was on top, and I just got up and I walked out into our living room, and I grabbed my phone, and he comes out, and there I am scrolling through my phone, and he said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, well, I remembered something in my Amazon cart." And he said, "And we were having sex." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I forgot." But I don't know, something made me think of this thing in my Amazon cart, and I need to order it. He said, "What the hell was in your Amazon cart that was so important that you had to stop in the middle of sex and order it?" So, a vibrator? Yeah, we're not together anymore. I did ask one guy one time, I was like, you know, we spent an awful lot of time together, and you spend more time with me than any other guy has ever been able to. And I want to know how you do it. Like, what do you do to prepare for being around me? And he said, well, it's easy. Every time before I come and see you, I just slam my dick in my car door first. He's not more painful than that. True story. True story. a friend of mine, she knows how awkward I am. Um, so she actually hooked me up on a dating site, but she Cyrano de Bergerac the shit out of these guys. Like she catfished them. She used my pictures and everything, but not my personality or my words. So these guys were meeting me, but this one guy, like, I don't know, I thought we were getting along great, even though I didn't know anything about him except for what I had read through the text. And I talked to him about camping for about 30 minutes, and his eyes glazed over, and I thought, oh shit, how am I going to keep this guy's attention? Because I really need to get laid. And so I said, well, hey, do you like fishing? I'm thinking all guys like fishing. And he said, yeah, I like to fish. So I spent the next 20 minutes talking to him about the best way to spool a spinning rod. And he wasn't into that. So I finally just looked at him and said, and also I give really great head. And all of a sudden he was like, check, please. um, so, now, like, I've been single for almost 4 years. February 15th will be my 4-year anniversary. Yay! And, but, it's also been 4 years minus a day that since the last time I had sex. And I find myself making appointments with my gynecologist and saying I think I need an internal ultrasound a little too often. And the last time I showed up with wine, and that was a little awkward, and I just said, oh, it's okay, it's just for Christmas. But then after Christmas, I had another exam I had to go for, and basically they told me to find a new doctor when I ran my fingers through her hair during the exam. So I'm looking for a new doctor if there are anybody out there. That's it for me, guys.
Give it up for Windmajik!
Yeah, that was funny.
Windmajik, yes!
Very good. Windmajik, that was great.
Yes, yes.